Armored Core 6 releases exactly 1 month from today, and a lot of information was revealed from media outlets and content creators who were able to play the game very early via a demo event presentation that took place about 2 weeks ago. So a lot of the information in this video is going to be coming directly from them, and I'll be sure to link in the description below the channels so that you guys can go ahead and check them out for yourself and enjoy the gameplay presentation, because they have some pretty high quality footage that looks pretty dope. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest, especially when it comes to multiplayer for Armored Core, because a lot of that stuff has not been confirmed yet, but with the game coming in less than a month, we can only assume those updates will be coming in about 2-3 weeks from now. And I got you guys all covered. Help raise that 21% even higher. And now with that being said, let's get into the video. The gameplay demo that they all played was on PC and gaming laptops with Xbox controllers plugged into it. The demo presentation itself was 1440p 60 frames per second, but the PC version has been reported to target 120 frames per second on release, and has options to even enable ray tracing too, which is great to hear. 120 frames per second is a first-time thing for From Software, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this will work out. It's probably still being fine-tuned. It wasn't available for the public as of yet, at least in that build that they were playing, so fingers crossed it functions pretty well. In the gameplay presentation from today, there were segments that showed allies in the mission. These were AI uncontrollable teammates, and multiple outlets over the last few days and even months before have been reporting that unfortunately co-op will not be a thing in Armored Core 6, which is very disappointing for me, as I thought that was the case based on the gameplay reaction that I did earlier, which if you guys haven't yet, be sure to check that out. But at least good news is the gameplay will feature 6-player multiplayer, and more details of the online capabilities will be coming later, as none of that was available during the event demo for the content creators and media outlets. However, what was available for the content creators and media outlet personnel was a actual mech, a real life mech they were able to control and mess with at the event, which blows my mind that Bandai was able to pull that off. And Square Enix, if you guys are doing a Final Fantasy VII event, we better have an IRL Tifa. Now, with it being a From Software game, many people are well accustomed to their award-winning Soulsborne series, from Dark Souls, to Elden Ring, Sekiro, and many more. But many will be new to Armored Core, which is pretty exciting. I haven't played personally since Armored Core 3, but a lot of people have been commenting and saying that Armored Cores 4 and 5 were also really good. 2 and 3 were on the PlayStation 2 days and was a pretty long time ago. And with all the recent success of the Soulsborne series, you can kind of expect that they will be implementing all kinds of new elements to the game, as they've gained a lot of experience during that time and overall expanded. I mean, hell, they created their own genre technically. The game is aiming to be more accessible than those previous titles of Elden Ring and the Soulsborne series. And of course, it will play drastically different. Talking about Armored Core, that is. The good news is the boss fights in Armored Core, from what everyone is saying, has a great difficulty and force them to utilize every tool at their disposal, which was also the case for the story too. The typical trial and error elements of getting better over time in their previous titles does seem to be a thing here also in Armored Core 6, which is great news to hear. Enemies will also get more defensive, using shields to force you to be a little bit more aggressive, and just as well, bosses will get more aggressive as their health reaches lower levels, getting more dangerous overall. Hard locking also is entirely optional, and you can free aim as well. The benefit to this is that you have the option to lock onto a single target enemy and focus damage on that, and if there are multiple enemies, you can just freely aim at will, which is great to hear. But for the multiplayer aspect, I do wonder how is this going to work. The stagger mechanic we saw in the demonstration is an entirely new addition, which will be great to see how different builds can take advantage of this. But also, you yourself can be staggered too. So there are many things to monitor and look out for, because the enemies, especially bosses, will be gunning for your cheeks and trying to get you helpless. When you get staggered while you're in the middle of the air fighting Cowboy has said you just fall straight to the ground, which is terrifying and also challenging, and I can't wait to experience that. RPG Site describes the game as expecting the player to come to grips with the game's controls, and in some ways is more challenging than the Souls formula of learning controls, but retains that satisfaction feeling when you complete big feats such as this. Some arenas will also give you permanent stat boosts and new movesets by using certificates that you get from completing them. A great inclusion of the game adopting some RPG elements, but also offers familiar rewards that longtime fans will be happy to see. Customization was always a big deal in the Armored Core series, and this time it continues to play a big part in catering towards that. Your playstyle, your aesthetic, and not only that, you'll be switching and adjusting builds constantly because certain missions will require and task you with challenges. that some parts can help out better with. Selling back parts also refund the same exact amount of money that you paid for it, which gives you the freedom to freely experiment with builds and encourages that mentality too. Ya in his video broke down that the tank legs offered a drastic ground mobility and drifting approach, whereas the 4 legs build will give you more hoverability horizontally to give you an attack from the air approach. RPG Site reported that in a demonstration, someone modeled their mech to match Optimus Prime, EVA Unit 02, and many others. And what's cool is that the game does offer the ability to share a code online for others to integrate your loadout in their own game. An example is during an arena, if you defeat an AC, it'll grant you the card loaded with a profile for that specific mech, letting you know which parts you need in order to emulate it. If you do own all the parts already, you can seamlessly load their profile and decorations in with a single click. The same can be accomplished with a player profile card too. Again, I'm linking Fighting Cowboy, Ya, and RPG Sites in the description below, so you guys can check out that content for yourself. And of course, I will be keeping you all updated on future information coming for the game. I think so far, everything has been revealed outside of multiplayer, so that will be a big focus for FromSoft in the coming weeks. No more than 2 weeks, I think, which is coming up faster than you guys think, because the game, again, is releasing August 25th, 1 month from today, which is kind of wild to me. It's been very recent that games are showcasing like true full gameplay within a month or closer to their release dates. The industry is back in better in a whole different way this time around after the whole pandemic issues. But I want to hear from you guys. Comment below, what is the most exciting thing that you have seen so far in these Armored Core gameplay breakdowns? And also, what are you anticipating and hoping to hear about next? Comment below, let's get a discussion going. Hit that like button if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Armored Core and many other gaming videos are on the way and you do not want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.